Hello everyone, good evening. A very warm welcome to all of you today for today's webinar on building forensic futures, foundations today, career success tomorrow. My name is Swarangi Hule and I am the event team admin at Krino Forensics and I'll be your host for today's exciting webinar. Along with me, I have Dipanshu Umare, the team coordinator. Dipanshu, on behalf of Krino Forensics, I'd like to thank you all for joining us this evening. We are thrilled to have such a wonderful and enthusiastic audience with us today. Let me go over a few instructions. If you have any questions, kindly type them in the comment box. We will take them up during the Q&A session at the end. Don't forget to stay with us till the end of the webinar for certificate details. Before we begin with the webinar, let me introduce you to Krino Forensics. Krino Forensics is a student-led MSME registered forensic science initiative dedicated to promoting education, awareness in forensic science, criminology, and allied fields. We conduct webinars, mentorships, and content initiatives to support learners and professionals across the country. It is an absolute honor to introduce our distinguished speaker for the day, Ms. Sidhvita Kaithepalli. Ms. Sidhvita has pursued her BSc and MSc in Forensic Science with specialization in biology, serology, and DNA division. She is currently a PhD scholar at Kennedy University of Baptist. She also serves as an assistant professor at Sigma University. Recently, she was appointed as an assistant editor for India at an international journal. With her expertise and experience, Ms. Sidhvita is not only shaping her own academic journey, but also contributing immensely to guiding future forensic professionals. And we are delighted to have her with us today. And I'd like to add one more thing personally. I've known Sidhvita ma'am since the initial days of Krino Forensics, and you guys are very lucky to get guidance from her. Without any further delay, let's dive into the session. Please join me in welcoming Ms. Sidhvita Kaithepalli. Ma'am, you may please begin.
Am I audible now?
Yes, you're
Yes,
audible now.
thank you so much. So, good evening to everyone. It's a honor to be here with you all. So, first of all, I would like to thank the team Krino Forensic for organizing such a initiative, the awareness event. So, I appreciate each and everyone, and above all to the audience who have joined today. Yes, it's a festival season, but still, you people are walking a mile extra for learning the knowledge, for gaining some knowledge. So I'm sure at the end of this event, at the end of this program, you will be gaining some knowledge, the basics, because you will be you people are the future aspirants, the future forensic minds of India or the world. So obviously, you might be studying very higher, you might be having gaining so much of interest and having expertise when you grow step by step. But still, if you want to start with something which is uh, a very crucial in society, which is forensic science, obviously it's playing a vital role. So for that we need a basics. So this session is all about the basics in forensic science. I'm sure you people are might known to this topics, but still they are people who are just joined, just took an admission in forensic science and might be in bachelor's or bachelor's honors or diploma. So this is for those people who are very much interested and to gain knowledge about it, to know something what exactly we are studying. So people who took admission, they might not knowing, because some people might be this forensic science field might be a second option. So for them, the webinar is for them who want to know what exactly they can study, how they can pursue, and how they can share their the career in the field of forensic science. I'm sharing my screen. Please let me know if it's visible. Is my screen visible?
Uh,
Yes, ma'am, it is visible.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So today we are discussing about the basics of forensic science. So before that, let me introduce myself. I'm Sidhvita, an assistant professor and a PhD scholar in forensic science. As Swarangi introduced me, yes, I have did my bachelor's and master's in forensic science itself, and I'm continuing my study in the same field of forensic science. So with the knowledge that I gain in my master's and the bachelor's, and currently what I'm going through, I want to share the knowledge that I had with you all. So let's get started into today's lecture. So these are the topics that we are going to study today. First, the introduction of forensic science and the basic principles and the functions of forensic science. What is the scope we have in forensic science and the need of forensic science? Why we have to study? What's the importance it have in the society? Not only in the society, in our life, being an individual more than a society. First, we have to look after ourselves. As you people took forensic science, how it is helping you people in your career to make your professional growth in the field of forensic science. And we're also going to study the ethics and moral values that you should have being a forensic expert, and the disciplines, the branches of forensic science with their applications. Also, we are going to see the future pathways and the job roles and the competitive exams that we can pursue to gain the to be a better position in the society in the field of forensic science. So these are the topics that we are going to study in today's lecture. So basic concepts in forensic science. You might be knowing what is a forensic science. So if we see, if we break the word into two, we have two words, right? Which is one is forensic and the science. Both are derived from a Latin, which means forensic means it's related to courts and the public discussion. And science means it's a Latin word scientia, meaning knowledge. So putting them together, if we put the both together, it is giving an literal meaning of the knowledge which is used in courts and legal matters. We know this basic thing. So forensic science is the knowledge that we are using. It's an application, it's a study that we put our knowledge of scientific methods in the field of legal matters, in the courts, to solve the crimes, to make our society clean. So forensic science, usually whenever we deal with forensic science or criminology, I'm talking about. So whenever we are studying, it's not only about reading what is a crime and what is a criminal behavior or how to solve it. The main motto behind this is to reduce the crime rate, to make our society free from the crimes. So if we look back to in general, if we look back to our general life, whenever 31st night happened, or right now Ganesh Chaturthi is happening, or some festivals are happening, whenever not only helping the society to solve the crime scenes, it also helps in reduce the crime rate. So this most of the people when they deal with forensic science, they only think about crimes and investigation. But if we see it morally, ethically, the behind reason of forensic science is to reduce the crime rate. If we talk about the definition of forensic science is an application or the study of scientific methods which can use in the field of uh, to investigate the crimes and legal issues. So why we have to use the methods? We usually whenever someone asks what is a forensic science, we'll share the knowledge like this is what is this. But why we have to use this knowledge? Why it is help, what is it helping us? Why we have to apply? We can usually also solve the crime scenes, right? We can usually go find the people, but why we have to use specially our scientific methods to solve a crime? It's a legal is a different subject. If we see, lawyers are studying law and medical people are studying medicine, which is science. Why forensic science in between of it? If we say in that in that way, it's making a bridge between the law and the science. It's a bridge which is connecting, and it's a useful tool. I would say it's a technique. It's an application in the society which connecting the bridge between the law and the science, and it is helping the society to be in a good manner to solve to free from the crimes, illegal activities, I would say. Not only society, if we talk in another manner, individually, they are people who are good initially. After that, the situation, the environment change them into a the situation where they have to commit a crime. So we have to identify those people, and we have to give them a counseling, and we have to make them again a good person. Where we are giving them the counseling, we are giving an again a life. So forensic science not only giving solving the crimes, and it's also giving a second life to the person who have lost in their life, who become a criminal. Again, it's giving a pure heart, I would say. So first, when we born, when we come out of our womb of our mother, we will be very pure, right? We don't know anything. We don't know what is a crime, what is a lie, what is a murder, what is a sexual assault. We don't know anything. But if we see, gradually we grab that criminal nature, we'll go into that nature, we'll get that cunning nature in ourselves, because it is because of the environment we are staying. Not all the people are criminals, but because of environment, people who are exposing to it, they become a criminal. So when they become a criminals, when we came to know these are the criminals, so again we will prove them this is wrong that they did, and we will also punish them in certain cases, and we'll try to make them understand what they have did and what not to be done. That's the reason people who have committed not always get the punishment hanging. Not always death is a penalty. We give them the opportunity to live again. So forensic science is not only for the society, it is personally for a person who lost in this world. And in depth, if we talk about forensic science, it involves collection, preservation, examination, and analysis of physical evidence from crime scene to assist the law enforcement, legal professionals, and courts in solving the crime scenes and delivering the justice. Yes, it involves the moment you get a call from someone that crime has happened, when the department went there, the crime investigation department went there, that the very moment the crime investigation starts, the moment that you came to know crime has happened, something illegal is happened, so the very moment onwards your crime investigation start. Crime investigation doesn't start from when you reach the crime scene. It starts from the moment when you came to know the crime has happened. So from there you will start getting you have to document everything. Someone called, who is that person who called you, why they have informed you, why they are there at that moment. So everything, the collection, preservation, and analysis of the crime scene. So in interpreting the crime scene, everything from the moment that you came to know the crime has happened till the moment the person who have committed a crime get the punishment, or the justice that is delivered to the victim, till that the forensic person is having an authority, he is having a responsibility to um, deliver the justice to the people. They play a vital role in every step, every step. without you people, without forensic science knowledge, a person cannot solve a crime scene. It might be a police, it might be a lawyer, it might be a judge, it might be a crime scene investigator, or a person who is working in a FSL. So every person who has involved in this solving a crime scene should have forensic science knowledge. Sometimes what we will think, forensic science, if we are studying, we have to only work in forensic science laboratories. No, once you studied forensic science, you can also become a police. You can also go for army. You can also go for law. You can also go for detective. You can also start a private lab. You can also start working in, of course, forensic lab. You can also be an educator, tutor. So there are ample of options. You don't think like if we studying a crime scene, sorry, forensic science, we have to become a crime scene investigator. No, you can be either of them. And all these people, you can be a DSP, you can be a police, you can be anything, because all these people are having a forensic knowledge to solve a crime scene. So that's the reason why we are studying forensic science. It's having a wide range of specialized fields. So before moving ahead with knowing all the fields, let's understand who exactly he is. You might know him. Who is he? Edmund Lockhart. He is the person who is the pioneer of forensic science. He's one of the pioneer of forensic science, father of forensic science, famously known as. He also formulated a principle which is popularly known as Lockett's exchange principle. He used the scientific methods in criminal investigation. He is not only a knowledge person, he also a founder and director of an institute. So these are the people. There are many people who are the pioneers of forensic science who have played a vital role in setting up to evolve the to get the knowledge to bring up the forensic science in the society. But he is one of the main person who have did so many contributions to the field of forensic science. So we always have to be grateful to these kind of forensic people um, who are the main who are the main persons. Because of them right now we are studying forensic science. If they didn't done any research, if they don't contribute anything, we would have not known to it. So always, today we are not discussing the history, but if we go back, you always have to study history. About whenever you are studying something, history is something which is evolving, because no one, who knows, you might be the next one who is standing after them, right? So always know the history to make a history. And coming to the part, basic principles of forensic science, we are well um, used to it. If it might be a first lecture when we went to a BSc forensic science, it might be our first lecture. But still, I'll give a simple example why this all seven laws are important and how to remember them, and why these are only a principles, why not others. And all the seven principles are applying in a crime scene investigation. Let's understand. So I'll give an example. There is a crime scene happened where a person got murdered with a knife, and where we can also find a fingerprints on the knife, and the blood is floating from the body of the body of a person with the victim. Fingerprints were there, shoe prints were there of a person who have committed a crime, and there is also a poison which we can see over there, and we can also see some papers, the print with the printer. So we can see it's like a person came into the room. He have tried to make the person who was sitting over there to sign on the agreement to gain the financial, it's like a financial fraud. So they didn't agree to it, so he had killed her with a knife, and he left all the fingerprints there itself and went off. So here, how the seven principles are applying. If we talk about law of individuality, every object, every person or subject is unique. I already mentioned, right? There is a fingerprint. If we say fingerprint is present, the fingerprint itself very unique, right? It is not similar. Even we have 10 fingers. If even our 10 fingers have a different kind of pattern, different rich patterns. So every object, every person, even I have. Even my mother is there, my father is there, I may look like them, so we may have a similar characteristics. But when we go deep into something, when we study something deep, everything, the finger, not only fingerprint, even DNA, the keystrokes, you might have heard about the keystroke. Keystrokes means, we used to have a laptop, right? You people used to have a laptop or a system. We use the keys to type. So every person will have a different types of speed when they're typing, or they used to use a different kind of fingers, different speed, the pressure. So everything is different. Every person will have their own individuality, their own uniqueness. So it is helping us to solve a crime scene. Not only a fingerprint, if we talk about the shoe prints, as I told, in the crime scene we also see a shoe print. Shoe print also is different. The way they are walking, if we see the inner part of the shoe, the prints would be there. My print is different and my friend print might be different. So the way of walking, the gain analysis, so everything varies. So there the law of individuality is helping us to solve a crime scene, because every object, everything have its own uniqueness, its own individual nature. Might be class characteristics are there. Let me help you with an example of a class characteristics and individual characteristics. Let's say we all have a mobile phones, right? Everyone will have a mobile phones, but I have a different company. I might have a Samsung, someone else might have an Apple. So in a similar manner, there are, in 100 members, 50 members having Samsung. Within the 50 members, only I have a different kind of a case, phone case, which is in pink color or a black color. Or even if the color is similar, the pattern of whatever I have on my phone case is different. So class characteristic is everyone are having mobiles, and the individual characteristic is the only thing is I have a case which is having, which is in pink color. So that's an individual characteristic. It's in general. Don't write in exam. I'm just helping you to understand the individual and the class characteristics, so that it goes same with the individuality. So everything have similar characteristics, but there is one characteristic which is not present in another thing. So that's all about law of individuality. And coming back to law of exchange, which is famously known as Lockett's exchange principle. So I hope you remember the example that I have gave, the crime scene. So person hold the knife, right? He obviously hold a knife to stab the person. So when the hold, there might be fingerprints, the other fingerprints are left by him on the knife, and he also came inside the shoe print. He left the shoe prints. So same goes, they might be, they might fought with each other. She also might be try to save herself, not only she, whatever the person, the victim. So whatever we touch, so what has happened, the knife is an object, a hand is another thing. When they both come in contact, there always an exchange of material taken place. It's not only about the crime scene. Usually also, let's say you call someone, you want to call someone, or you want to drop a text to someone. So what is happening, you try, whenever you try to contact something, there is always a history, right? Call history would be there in the similar manner. So whenever you come in contact with something, you always leave a trace, right? So which is helping us to find out who is come in contact with them. We already know that every person have individual characteristics, right? Which is our first law. So based on this, we have to connect our first law with the second law. It is helping us. So the material, what is the trace they are leaving, might be an individual characteristics, which is helping us to find out the what is, who is that who might be committed. It might not only not exactly refer to the person who have committed, but it will give some clue, right? It will give some clue. Either we came to know the person, might the fingerprint might be a loop, the shoe print might be of number 6, so shoe print which is a girl's one, right? So we able to understand, okay, this is the, so the probability might be this much. So if we see there are 50 members are there, who are all mixed of boys and girls. So among that, only 50, only 15 members are girls, and in the 15 members, shoe print can be any of the girl, right? So we have easily able to identify based on the trace we find at the crime scene. So this is how these two principles are helping us in solving the crime scene. And if we talk about the third one, law of progressive change. So everything change over time. You might have known to this principle because the name itself stating everything change over time. So if we connect back to the example that I have shared earlier, the crime scene happened, right? I told the body is having bleeding, the blood is coming out of the body. So if we leave the body like that, then the blood might be get oxidized because it will get react to the environment, right? The environmental or temporal changes might come, obviously. So other factors influence it. Might be a sunlight, might be an air, oxygen, maybe other components which are present in the environment may impact. So they will degrade, and there might be a chance of contamination. So everything changes over time. So what you have to do? So whenever you go to a crime scene, don't stand. Okay, this is what happened. Don't sit and talk. Just go there, observe, and quickly collect. If we make it a delay, if we keep on delaying the thing, there is a chance of degrading, right? Degrading of the material. The evidences would be high. There might be a chance of contamination. We sometimes the evidences would be present, but because of the lack of the time, or sorry, because of the time lapse, because of the long time, the period of the time, the chances of the contamination of the evidence is high. So we always have to be very quick because everything will not stay in the similar state. If we keep an ice cube for a long period at the same place, will it stay in the similar same state? No, right? From solid to it will become a liquid phase. And if we keep a heat under it, it will become evaporate, right? So everything change its state. Not only state, it may change the texture. So you have to be very quick because everything will not stay same when we went to a crime scene. Let's talk about the fourth one, law of comparison. I told we have find a fingerprint, right? In the crime scene, fingerprint is present. So you get a fingerprint. Will you try us, which is a known sample? At the crime scene, we get a fingerprint, which is a known sample. You have a doubt because being a forensic expert, you will have a doubt. You are suspecting a four members. So you will collect the samples from them and you will try to match with them. These are the known samples. You will collect a sample of finger of everyone, right? Fingerprint. You will try to collect the fingerprints of all the suspects that you have, but you will not collect the palm print for it. You will not go for the footprints. You will not go for lip prints. You always try to you know compare with a like. Always like with a like. Not like that you have a fingerprint but you will go and check with a shoe print. No, right? Obviously. So you always have to compare everything with a known standard samples. Everything. No, I'm not talking about the sample that you know. Not, like not only fingerprint or with fingerprint, but you have a question sample. You also know the samples that you have collected from suspects. You have to always link with the same with the same, like with a like. This is all about the law of comparison. So you already went to a crime scene. You came to know the individuality of a the evidence, and there is an uh, exchange of material. The trace has happened, then everything might be changed. So you have collected quickly. Then once you collected, you have to start analyzing with a like. So this goes with the flow from first to fourth. So now let's talk about the fifth one, which is law of analysis. So law of evidence is, so you have already compared. So if we talk about the analysis, you have to analyze with the good standard methods, right? You always have to use, you might be knowing some standard methods. Let's say there is a crime scene happened. Of course, we already have an example. Blood is floating. So first you will go and you will collect the blood you have collected, and you wanted to check the blood whether it's a blood of victim or of suspects or the person who have committed a crime. So you always use a standard methods, right? Let's say I want to find out the ABO blood group of a the sample. So you will go and go for the standard method which is accepted everywhere. with the proper protocols, and you have to follow all the ethics. You have to analyze with the standard methods that can be acceptable, right? So if I go and say the fingerprint found at the crime scene. I told fingerprint is present, right? So I went and say the fingerprint present at the crime scene is having a loop, and the suspect, one of the suspect is also having a loop. So I'll say you are the only the victim. Sorry, you are only the person who have committed a crime. You are the accused. Then he will say there are so many persons who have a loop. So then you have to go for a ridge analysis, ridge characteristics. So ridge characteristics, the minutiae, the core, and the delta will not be similar for everyone, right? So you have to use the scientific methods, standard methods when you're analyzing it. You will be knowing, because now you are studying all the methods, but when you went into a field, you are the first person who has to take an initiative and the responsibility which test has to be done when. So you have to must study all the scientific methods and should know what are the protocols that you have to follow, what is the ethics when you are following it, what are the legal um, rules that you have to follow when you are dealing with an analysis, the evidence, when you are doing an evidence analysis. That's all about the law of analysis. And if we talk about the law of probability, so the name itself, the law itself stating probability. So if we talk about the conclusion, you have did the analysis also. So now if we talk about the interpretation, in simple interpretation. So you always, forensic people never say 100% this is the only person. They never say. So they will, if we see the case report or a forensic report which is prepared by forensic expert, they will mention this is the sample. There might be a chance of this much, there is a chance of DNA match would be there. This is the they will not say certainly, they will say this is the probability, this is the percentage, there might be a chance. They always give a probability. So whenever you are preparing a report, don't give a blunt answer, have to be very proper and practical. That's what this law is stating. And if we let's talk about the last one, law of circumstantial facts. Usually humans, being a humans, um we usually lie when situation comes, not only in the crime scene, usually also if we didn't done a homework, when a mom stand up and usually when I'm asking my students, have you done homework, they will simply say yes madam, but we forgot the notebook. But if I go through and do investigation on it, I may find that they might have not done, right? What it is happening, they're lying over there, right? They're lying. Usually being a humans, we for small things also we may lie, we may not give answers. Sometimes we try to make up something to escape from something. So we may lie. We may try to lie with our actions, but facts do not lie. It always say stick onto the same thing. Let's take an example of DNA. We have collected a blood, right, from the crimes in which I have given example. So the person might say that's not my blood which is found at the crime scene, but when we do a DNA analysis, the DNA sample might be matched with the person who is a suspect, right? So he might be lying that I am not present, I might be somewhere else, but facts which are present, the evidence which is present at the crime scene will not lie. So never believe on a person. Believe on the facts. You always have to speak with the facts. You always have to rely on the facts, which is proving always. Yes, there are chances people might be innocent, but some situations may to be there at a crime scene. But still, always speak. You have to talk with the facts, and you have to finalize everything by analyzing the facts. This is all about the crime scene. And if you look back and see all the crimes, all the seven principles not only applying in the crimes in which I have narrated, it is also applicable in real life also. All the seven principles. Go for any case study, you will find all the seven principles. That was the main reason why the seven principles are highlighted when we are studying about the laws of forensic science. So this basic knowledge is important. We may study and we may forget, but if we turn back and see, these are the principles that has been used in every crime scene. Right now also there might be a crime happen somewhere in the world, so all these crime laws are used at the crime scene. Not only crime scene, usually also whenever an illegal thing happened, all the principles are used. All are involved in a crime scene to solve the crime scene. I hope this is helpful for you people to compare to whenever you are studying a case study. Try to don't read the case study. I always suggest people don't read the case study just to find what has happened, what happened at the end. Don't read for the same. Just compare what is the technique used, what is the principle used, how they are dealing. Because being a forensic people, your duty is to find how it has happened, not what is the end of the story or end of the case study, what has happened, how it has been solved, why they got this chance, what is the evidence that helped us, what is the tool they have used, what is the technique, and what is the main principle behind that. So, moving forward, what are the functions of forensic science? If we talk about the forensic functions, first it will help us for the crime detection, how it happened, when it happened, who have did, how they have did, what is the motto behind this, why only this person is become a victim for this criminal, what is the reason behind it, why crime has happened only over there. So everything will be analyzed under the forensic science. And evidence examination, evidences like physical, digital, chemical, all the evidences, all the evidences are analyzed and then will to get a justice for a people. Then expert testimony. If we talk about the expert testimony, this is the doubt most of the people have. Uh, if I want to be a forensic expert, don't call yourself a forensic expert if, um, without knowing what exactly the meaning is referring to. So forensic expert, if you're being a forensic presenting expert testimony in the court, first you have to work in a forensic laboratory. First you have to present in a forensic laboratory, because when you're working in a forensic laboratory, you will get an opportunity to deal with a case, right? Then you will get a case details and evidences, then you will analyze and you will prepare a report. So if there is a chance, if there is a requirement in the court, they will call the person who have analyzed this evidences. Then that person will present themselves. Yes, I have dealt with this evidences. So I came to know when I have studied about this evidences, I get to know this conclusion. Not only evidences, the lie detection test, everything. So they will come and present in the court. They are called as expert test. They are eligible for the expert testimony because they are the people who have analyzed the evidences, right? So it's not only a government lab. Even if you're working in a private lab, if you are dealing with, if you are analyzing an evidence, then you are eligible to present an expert testimony. So don't call yourself as an expert unless until you know the exact meaning of what is an expert testimony. And establishment, they will so forensic science, what it helps, I told you, right? It will be a bridge between the law and science. In the similar manner, it will help us to connect the suspects and the victims and the crime scene. It will help us to find create a link between the suspect and the victim and the crime scene. And then legal support. Obviously, if a crime has happened, only law is not placing a vital role. If we forensic science, by using a scientific methods, it is trying to give an evidence to solve the crimes, right? So it was helping not only of police, not only a law, even a society also to get the justice. Not only in the cases, not only in criminal cases, but also in civil cases. Then crimes in management. So if we talk about the crimes in management, we'll get documentation, collection, preservation, analysis, the protocols that we have to follow, how we have to preserve the evidences, how we have to secure the crime scene. Everything comes under the crimes in management. And coming to the part identification. So identification is something not only help us to find out the DNA and the fingerprints. If we talk about the disaster victim identification, at that time it will help. It's a disaster, right? Obviously, the name itself stating it's a disaster, which is not no one thought of. No one know like disaster will happen. We lost the our life. So it will also help us to identify who is the victim at that situation. Sometimes, yes, forensic science not only help in finding out the suspects and criminals, but sometimes it plays a vital role in finding out the victims also, in identification of victims in short, and database maintenance. We do have databases like code is for DNA and fingerprints also. There are databases which support, which have collection of criminal already, people who have already criminal records. There might be people who have a criminal record, so their samples, their samples, their fingerprints or DNA, everything will be stored over there. So we'll maintain that as well, which will help us to find out if a crime has happened. First, we will check with the database that we have. There might be a chance people who are already criminals might commit a crime again. So first, we'll check in the database. If we didn't find it, then we go for the next in general. So then research and training. So research is something to find out the new methods. If you talk about the research is not something kids not. Some people will think like research is very tough. It is only for the scientists. No. If we talk in general, the name states always go for the word research. Why it is calling us a research? Research means it is already present in the environment, it is already present in the world. We are just searching it, which is already present. We are searching it to get it viable to all the people who are the present, all everyone. So in the society, it might be present. We are just searching it. Let's say corona is there. Corona is already present. We have identified that virus as corona, which is already present. So that's called a research. So the technique, the method, everything might be present, but we are searching it. That's called a research. That's what you're doing. And if we talk about forensic scientist, why people are calling them as a forensic scientist? They are not inventing anything. They are not inventing any medicine or tools. But still, why they're called as forensic scientist? Because they are identifying, right? They're identifying who is the victim, who is the suspect. They're identifying someone. They are doing some research. They are giving a result out of it. That was the reason why they're called as a forensic scientist. So it will help us. Research and training will help us to gain some advanced forensic techniques. Like there's a research going on about the degraded samples. Can we find out DNA from degraded samples? Can we make a DNA strand by mitochondrial DNA? Or can we make a DNA? Sorry, not only this. If two fingerprints are smudged, can we make it separately? So there are research is going on for advanced forensic techniques. We do have techniques, but to make a quick, they may take so much of time. There are techniques are present, but they take so much of time. So research is going on to make um, the the evidences collection and analysis with a short span of time. So they are doing some advanced techniques and disaster and terror response. So it assists in identification and analyzing the terror related evidences. Scope of forensic science. If we talk about the forensic science scope, what it is, we have studied what is forensic science. We also studied the principles, how it is dealing, and what is the need, what is the scope, mainly why it is playing a why we have to study, what is the scope. If people will say we do not have a scope in forensic science, why you are choosing forensic science? I have heard this question. I have heard from only my batchmates also. Then I felt like asking them, not only them, I'm asking you people, Navy people or army people or the judge or the lawyers or the police people or the any public sector who are working in a crime departments, are they are getting a placement directly from the university? No, right? Obviously, no one will give you. Even if you look back and see any university or something, they will not offer, because it's not only, I'm not degrading or demotivating people who are studying. I'm just sharing the what exactly here is, because for navy or army or forensic science experts, these people are appointed by the government. They people who should not only people who have degrees in their hand are eligible. People who have expertise are eligible. So we have to undergo through the requirements, and we should have to go under training programs. We should make ourselves prepared for it. So there is a special way of taking them. So that was the main thing. So in this case, though, if you get a chance to work as a crimes and investigator, you should be proud of it. Not always a placement for an placement in campus is smarter. Sometimes just be a forensic expert and feel that how it would be. It gives a joy more than a placement. Placement is good for people who are doing BTech or MBA, because usually placement whomsoever is getting, it is a system work, right? They work in a system, or usually it might be something else, business or something. They have a tie-up. Universities will have a tie-up with some private organizations. But even the private organizations, most of the situations, colleges will have a tie-ups with private organizations only. The private organizations might be having a higher name like a Google or Amazon. These are private limited companies only, but they have a good name, fame in the society. That's why we feel proud when we placed in that companies. But if you talk about forensic science, you just completed your graduation, and if you college people take and keep it in a forensic science laboratory, will you able to do it? Obviously no. You have to prepare yourself, you have to undergo some examinations, you have to present yourself, you have to give an interview, then you have to pass among the people who are present. This is the main thing. You have to be, don't go for, there is no scope, we don't get placement. So before thinking that, understand what is placement and what it is for, and who is eligible for placement opportunity. So don't blame the colleges. Colleges are offering, they are very if you ask before, am I get a placement, if you ask them, they will upfrontly say this is what, if you get also, you will get in this situation. You will not be placed, not only one college, nowhere you will be directly placed in a forensic laboratory by a college. So be aware of that. Don't blame colleges. Colleges are giving you knowledge. Colleges are giving you practical exposures. But if you talk about the job opportunities, that's you are the one who is taking the option. You sometimes we have to come out of the zone. Let's say I will stay at my home only. I want forensic laboratory besides my home. That not gonna work for everyone, right? Sometimes you have to come out of your comfort zone and you have to work. So this is what about forensic science. So whenever I heard about there is no scope in forensic science, um I used to have a doubt. How people are like, they have to understand what is a forensic science first. Forensic science is a sensitive field, I would say, and it is having this much importance. So how come you will be placed directly in a field? First, you have to make yourself right. That's the main thing behind the forensic science job opportunities. So it will help in criminal investigation, civil disputes, and law enforcement support, and courtroom evidences, and cyber forensics. There's a question. I'll take all the questions at the last. So let's complete the session first. And we also, it also have a scope in identifying the individuals. I told you, right? We also not identify the suspects and criminals. Sometimes we also identify the victims. Just like example in crime, victim identification. When a disaster happened, we have to identify the victims. Sometimes the small babies will be missed in a festival or a fest, or some when they have traveled with the parents, missing persons. In that case also, we have to find out the victims who are suffering. So it helps in identification of individuals. And it is forensic science not only helping the society or the humans, it is also helping the wildlife, it is also helping the environment. We also have a specialized branch for wildlife forensics and environmental forensics, because it is helping and solving the crimes like poaching, pollution, and illegal wildlife trades. There are, because they are killing the species which are endangered species. We have to save them because there is a food cycle. We might have studied about food cycle. We have to keep, if the food cycle is missing, there is a very much loss for us. So we have to save our foreign environment also. So there people who are just for the sake of money, for their personal gain, financial gain, they are harming the environment. So in that case also forensic science is playing a vital role, and forensic psychology and psychiatry. Here, I want to give a differentiation between the psychology and psychiatry, because people who are not from not only from forensic science, usually people who are studying psychology and psychiatry, what is exactly difference is psychology is something usually we treat the people with therapies and the theories with the counseling, and a psychiatry is something we deal with the criminal, sorry, we deal with medications. In short, if something happened, I am very much stressed, then I'll go to a psychologist, they will just give a counseling. And I'm very much depressed, I'm not able to come out of it, I lost my pet, so I am very much depressed, I'm not able to come back to the normal life, I'm very much depressed, I just lost everything, I'm not able to sleep, everything changed in my life. So that time I have to go to a psychiatrist, then they will suggest some medications to overcome the emotions to be normal. So this is the main difference between the psychology and the psychiatry. And forensic psychologist is someone who will help the criminals. Let's say criminal is there. Why they become a criminal? They will study their criminal behavior. They will give understand their mental stability and the health, and they will try to make them normal, like normal human beings. Two, they will just simply, when a person is having a criminal behavior, they try to remove the criminal behavior and make the person normal. This is the main duty of forensic psychology and psychiatry. Not only main, I would say one of the main. So research and development, we know the scope is we do have enhanced forensic methods, tools, and scientific accuracy. These are the developments which we can do. If you are interested in research, you can try to develop a new method which is helping the society. You will also call it a good scientist. They are not only teaching, not only crime department, not only going for working in a cyber forensic, you not only in hospitals, you can also work in a research domains, you can start your own lab, and you can also start developing some new methods, new techniques, which is helping for the field of forensic science. Need for forensic science, what is the need? We understand the scope, right? What is the need actually? So first, crime solving. We have already discussed about it. It helps in solving the crime scene. It, as I have initially only told, it is not only helping solving the crime scene. It is giving justice to someone. So when you say it's a need in solving the crime scene. If we go back and see the victim face and the family of a victims, you get to know their, we are not only solving the crime, we are delivering a justice to someone who have undergone to an illegal act, has suffered because of an illegal act. So we are delivering the justice. For delivering the justice, we need the knowledge of forensic science. I'm not saying forensic scientist is required here, but the knowledge of forensic science is required. So know the difference between the role and the knowledge. If we do not have a forensic science knowledge, how can you deal with a crime? So if you go and talk with any of the specialists who are working in a police department or crime departments or the law, everywhere forensic science is having a one or other way. Even homeopathy students will read about forensic science. Medical people will read because they also have some laws that they have to go through. So there is a need of forensic science and scientific evidence to gain. We went there if we don't have a scientific knowledge in a crime scene. We have all the evidences, but if we, just say I have given initially one crime example of a crime scene, right? So go to a crime scene and don't use any scientific methods and try to solve the crime. Will it be happen? Will it work? Obviously, no. Without using any scientific method, we cannot solve any crime scene. I'm not saying nil. I'm not saying completely, but yes, there are many cases without using a crime scene. Sorry, scientific methods we cannot use. Sorry, we cannot solve the crime scene. So it is helping us to gain the scientific evidences, to gain the reliable proof to put in front of the court of law and legal justice. So it will deliver the justice and help to identify the unknown individuals through DNA, fingerprints, and the facial reconstructions with the human remains. Anthropology is also there. We'll identify the persons. We'll try to match the persons and identify and help the families to find out who it is in case of a disaster victim identification. And crime prevention. So to prevent the crime, so let's say a crime has happened. So once the crime has happened, government, so not government, the court has given a punishment. Once they saw the punishment, other people will have a fear of not try to, they will try not to commit that crime, right? So there is a chance by looking at the punishment, people tried not to do the same crime. So in this manner also, by looking at the punishments, by looking at the protocols, by having a fear, if we do, we might have to undergo through some kind of um, punishments or the other bad names, and we will also get a bad fame. If might be I'm in a good position, if I commit a crime, I may get a bad fame, I may lose my life, I may get lost my job, everything. So people will get to know when we solve a crime scene and we give some conclusion we'll get at the end, right, towards a criminal. So by looking at that also, sometimes the crime rate would be, I'll not say completely, but yes, there is a chance of less chance would be there if a person trying to commit, because they have already seen such situations. Then link establishing, they will connect the suspects, victims to the evidence to the crime scene. Expert testimony supports law enforcement and evidence integrity. So you have find the evidences. If without integrity, without proper handling, proper accountability, we cannot get the output, right? So forensic science is something playing a vital role over there, to have an integrity between everything. It is connecting everything to solve and to gain to do the analysis of an evidence, to get the output, to get the result of something, to conclude something over there. Then advanced crime scenes. It is necessary to invest complex crime scenes like cyber crime, which is very huge nowadays, terrorism, white collar crimes. So forensic science is trying to do in the same way. If a crime is happening, to solve a crime scene, you have all forensic science also coming up with an advanced techniques. If a crime is in advanced method, forensic science also parallelly getting an advanced tools to solve the crime scene. So there forensic science is playing an important role. So ethics and moral values in forensic science. So I'm so sorry. So if we talk about the ethics and moral values in forensic science, you people are in your bachelor's or in your master's, or might be trying to take admission in the bachelor's or master's. So right now you people might be in the teenage, I would say. So in the teenage, maximum people are in a good mindset. They know the difference between the right and the wrong. But people, there are chances, some, even though we are able to identify what is wrong and what is right, there are chances some people choose the a wrong way, right? So don't be that foolish person. If you are a person who is a professional in forensic science, you should carry some moral values in your neck. I mean to say, you should carry some values in your heart, in your mind, in your work. First, you should have an honesty and integrity. You should be very honest with first yourself, because you are ultimately you are the main one. At least you have to be very truthful and honest with yourself. Then you have to be very honest with your work. You have to honest with your co-employees. When you got an evidence, when you're dealing with an evidence, if you give a false uh, conclusion, if you say a false conclusion, if you giving, you know that it is a false one, but still if you present a false testimony in front of the law, so you might be saving someone, but in the similar at the same time you are keeping one victim who is an innocent in the jail, right? So they are having a punishment. So you have to identify what is right, what is wrong. So you have to be very honest and you have to stay with integrity. Then always avoid your personal feelings. Sometimes when you deal with a crime, so the case might be very sensitive case, so don't be emotional, don't get emotional. So where you are working in a crime department, so you have to be first emotionally strong. By looking at the crime scene, yes, being a humans, we also sometimes get emotionally weak by looking at the situation people are going through. But always don't conclude something because of your emotional pressures. You always have to be very particular and have to be very truthful to your work, I would say. If your higher authority is demanding you, you have to write the case in this manner only. Don't go for peer pressures. Just be what it is. And confidentiality, when you're dealing with an evidence, you have to maintain the confidentiality. You should not reveal the cases. If you're dealing with some case, if you reveal the confident, if you reveal the sensitive information, there might be a chance the opponent, the suspect, or the accused might get alert, and he will get the evidence according to him, to not escape from the punishment, to escape from the court. So maintain the confidentiality. And confidentiality not only help in this case, confidentiality is required when you're dealing with let's talk about the paternity cases. When a paternity cases are happening, so there might be a child, right? Might be the parents are fighting for the baby, but baby ultimately, the baby might be very small, young age, right? So in her future, she has to face the society. So there might be an impression goes on her in the society. She has to carry the same impression entire life, right? So in this case, you have to maintain the confidentiality when you are dealing with the DNA profilings, everything. And then accountable, you have to be responsible. So why you have to be responsible? Let's say I gave you a task, I'm not only me, I gave you some evidence to deal with. So when you got an evidence to deal with, you have to be very accurate, reliable. You have to use some accurate and reliable and methods to solve it. And if something happens wrong over there, you have to take a responsibility of it. Don't say something happened wrong with you, then don't feel like it's wrong. So let's say the case only wrong, the evidence only wrong. So don't try to manipulate the case, try to take a responsibility. If something happened wrong with you, just be uh, uh, stable and steady and say that I have did this. You have to be very responsible, because it you are dealing with case means case is not something a toy or something. In you might be doing practicals in your labs. Let's say I'm trying to do a ABO blood group in the lab. So when I take a blood sample, I get a negative. Then I'll wash it again the slide and I'll try to do it again. So, but if we talk about the crimes, and it won't work like that. It's not something that you can play with. So you have to be very responsible towards it. Then impartiality. You should never show a biased nature. You have to be very truthful, I would say. They don't support someone. There might be chances that you might be knowing a victim, you might be knowing the suspect, but still you have to be very loyal towards your work. Never show a partiality based on their caste or their religion, or because of their fame and name, because of the money. Don't show the partiality. Always be, because at the end everyone are humans, and everyone who have committed a crime has to be punished, and who has a victim has to get the justice. And then professional competence, you have to be very competitive in this world. Or if let's say I have studied blood test ABO blood group in my bachelor's. If I say I know ABO blood group, I don't study anything, I know about blood, it won't work. After that, I have to study the preliminary and confirmatory test. Then I have to go for DNA analysis. I have to be very competitive with the skills, the techniques, the advanced techniques. I have to know, I have to learn. Not only me, everyone has to learn to have a professional competence in the, not only when you're dealing with the evidences in professional career also. If you're having a minimal knowledge, only if you're having a trade, if you know traditional techniques, you will not be considered. At the same time, along with the traditional techniques, you also should have advanced techniques. Then only you will be considered and you can able to make your work uh, better. And respect human rights, then avoid misuse of expertise. So never, don't make, I told you, right, don't claim something because of your expertise. Don't try to change or misuse the expertise, misuse your role. Be honest with yourself and do proper documentation whatever you have gone through. Don't think I get only 50% as a result. If you get a 50% result, keep 50% result. Let's say you might not get 100% DNA profiling. You might get 70, sometimes seven. You cannot complete the profiling of a DNA. Then put same thing. The sample quantity is less. That's the thing happens. So be clear, honest, and scientifically support your answer. Don't just write like the statements. You have to always support your answer and your statements scientifically. And coming to the work part, never claim a result. Let's say I got a result. If a result is positive and appreciable by others, don't claim it is my work. If it is, then if you done, then claim it as a your work. If someone else did the work, and don't claim that work is done by you. In the similar manner, if something happened wrong with you, don't try to keep the blame on others. Try to take and be uh, very professional, I would say. Don't make the things very cheap in when when you're, because you are obviously a forensic expert. You are staying having a high standards in the society, and stay within the scientific limits. Then be clear and precise with your language. When you are writing the report, you have to be very clear and precise in language. And most of the people might have known to it. If you are in Andhra Pradesh, then the FIR, case reports, everything is mostly the inquest, everything is mostly um, in Telugu only. And if they are in Maharashtra, it would be in Marathi. If they are in Gujarat, it would be everything in Gujarati. So there are things which are written in English, but if we talk about other things, because criminals, not all criminals might know to English, right? So whenever you appear for any job in a forensic laboratories, they will ask, they will put a language as a mandatory thing, because you have to, at the end you will face an issue when you are reading an FIR, when you are taking a charge sheet, everything maximum they will, might be the tables might be in English, but everything will be written in Gujarati or Telugu or Marathi. So the proper native language. So you have to be very fluent with your own language. Not don't depend completely on English. Yes, when you're writing something, or a research paper or examinations, you have to be very fluent. If you're going in a corporate world or private, then it works. But if we are dealing in a crime department, then you should be having a grip on your own language also, the state language. And try to use where you have to put the full stop, commas. So you have to be very clear about it. And then accurate representation. You have to represent the data, might be with the flow charts or the images, or what I should say, tables. You have to put everything with the accurate information, what has been done, everything. And you have to charge fairly and reasonably. You have to, everything has to be done fairly. So coming to the part disciplines in forensic science, the core branches of forensic science. So I can see some of the people are asking for the exams and what can we do, uh, what is the scope, what are the job opportunities and all. So let's talk about one by one. If we talk about a forensic biology, let's say I'm very much interested in biology, I have a good knowledge. Most of the people who took forensic science, it might be a second option, might be they try for MBBS. So the need might not be work for them. They came back to here instead of taking a long term, or some people want to go for something and they might be come back to it. But people who are studied in 12th, they have a proper basic knowledge of biology. Might be not completely. I won't say there are people who mostly people face difficulty in physics and chemistry, but biology everyone are loving subject in 12th standard and 11th standard. People are taking biology. So, if we talk about forensic biology, what is the role of forensic biology? It studies the biological evidences like hair, saliva, semen, everything. All the biological tissues will be analyzed here, and it is also used in DNA profiling, body fluid identity. It's secondary part of forensic serology, which is a sub branch of forensic biology. So, forensic biology, if you took a biology, so then what are the job roles? What can be done? So, then if you done your biology, then you can go for as a tutor. Obviously you can go for a lecturer or a professor after you complete your masters. If you have a net and if you are you can do that. You can go for a researcher, you can be a forensic serologist, you can work in a DNA profiling unit in a forensic laboratory, because obviously there is a need of biology evidences also, right? So you can work over there also. And if you have a knowledge of forensic biology, don't think if you are not able to get into the field of forensic science, then you can also work in with the knowledge that you have in biology. You can also work in life sciences like microbiology, biotechnology, because forensic science, biology, with the knowledge of forensic biology, you can also grow in microbiology, biotechnology. We also have sub branches of forensic biotechnology and microbiology. So you can go for it. Then chemistry is a study of chemical substances in a crime scene. Let's say we might get explosives, drugs, unknown materials, chemical substances. It will help us to analyze by using the scientific methods. And the toxicology is mainly about the toxicology. Chemistry usually interrelates with each other, so it helps to detect and interpret the toxins the body in the in the body fluids and tissues. Commonly we use the knowledge of toxicology in cases of poison cases where the drug overdose happened in the medical treatments. So their toxicology plays a vital role. So recently it happened. Even hospitals, even in the hospital, there is a unit. They are going in some of the hospitals have a toxicology unit, because their drug overdose is a happens usually. There are cases where doctors used to give the medicines. It might get overdose and people might have undergone through severe situations. It might leads to death also. So they have opened a toxicology unit to check on it. So you can also work in hospitals. You can also work in forensic laboratories. You can also work in chemical industries, private chemical limit chemical industries are there, because there is a requirement over there. With the knowledge you have, you can go and work in pesticides departments, other chemical departments. You can go and work over there as well. Then anthropology. So what is anthropology? It is a in scientific study which identify the human race through bones and skeletal features. So anthropology nowadays, it's really a growing field. I would say it's really a growing field. It mainly helps in disaster victim identification, homicide cases. Anthropology will help us to solve the cases which are of years, because we can able to solve where anthropology. If we talk about only anthropology, we study especially the evolution of humans and their culture, might be language, society, their growth, food, everything comes under anthropology. So forensic science relate the knowledge of anthropology to solve the crime scenes. Then forensic odontology. If we talk about forensic odontology, so here we applies the dental science because we do have a bite marks. So if we talk about the bite marks, so in that case, or sometimes we get a, bite marks also have unique nature. They are also unique. Every person will have a different bite, structure, teeth structure. So it will help to solve the cases in forensic science. And even people who recently I have noticed this, people who have studied BDS people have studied BDS, and after that in masters they are doing a forensic odontology. So parallelly they can work as a doctor, dentist, I would say. They can work as a dentist. In the similar way they can also go for legal matters also. They can try. They can work in a legal matters also. So they can work as a doctor also. They can work in in the department of forensic science also. And entomology. Entomology is the study of insects. So based on let's say there is a body we find after 6 7 days. So based on the insect activity present at the dead body, we can estimate the time since death. So it is helpful by studying the analyzing the insect or the in of course insect cycle life cycle. We can analyze, might be this many days back the death might happen, at this time the death might happen. So we can analyze the times instead by studying the entomology. Then psychology. So we can apply the psychological principle in legal matters to assess the criminal profiling. So here psychology, I would say, not only help in giving a counselor to the criminal. So by looking at the a person behavior, there is a criminal profiling. It's a deep study in criminology. So criminal behavior or behavioral science, they also have a knowledge of behavioral science by looking at the person, the way they are sitting, the way they are handling themselves, the way they are speaking. So they analyze that, they try to understand whether it is true or not. So they analyze the appearance, how they're handling themselves. They put the principles, what they have observed, and they try to solve the criminal cases. They'll make a criminal profile based on the behavior of a person, which is completely related to behavioral science. And they will do the interrogations accordingly. It will help in that manner. So psychiatry, it deals with mental illness. People who have serious mental illness, they I would say I already gave an example differentiation between psychology and psychiatry, right? So the psychiatry deals with the mental illness, people who are not stable mentally, if they are unstable and committing a crime. So we can give a proper treatment to them and we can make them um, normal. I would say we can give a normal. There are situations where a person is not stable. There are psychopaths, serial killers. These people need a medical requirement. So in that case, not only a psychiatry knowledge, the forensic psychiatry also required, because psychiatry will normally deal with the persons who are mentally ill. But if a person is criminal, they should have a knowledge about the criminal and criminal behavior, criminal knowledge also. So that's where forensic psychiatry plays a role. And digital forensic science, most of the people are very fond of forensic digital forensic science. But in the similar manner, yes, nowadays digital forensic science is growing. But if you people are taking forensic science right now, you people will study both. You will study forensic science also, you will study digital forensic also. But if we see other people who are from BTech or engineering, they purely study for cyber only, right? So if you go with this digital forensic science or cyber forensics, so the knowledge that they had in cyber is high comparing to us, because we have to study forensic science parallelly. So if you want to go for a digital, then do your bachelor's in this forensic science, and masters try to take pure cyber, I would say. Try to take a pure cyber, then you already have a knowledge of forensic science in your bachelor's, and you can mix it and you can go for the specialization. So that's the only drawback, because there is a competition is there. So they also study cyber, they also do AI, even MBA is having AI database. So you have to look back and check for that as well. And then forensic ballistics. It is the study of examination of firearms, ammunition, bullet tragedies. It will help us to when a bullet shootout or bomb blast has happened. So that time it will come into our play and try to solve the case by analyzing the evidences, marks, uh, and then question document examination. So under question document examination, we'll study about the handwriting, inks, ink examination, which kind of ink is used. Not only in pen, we also study what kind of ink used to print the paper. Like when we go for a printer, we want to print something, we'll go for the printout. So even every printer will have its own type of ink. They use some kind of inks, might be at the end they look similar, but everything have its own composition. So yeah, when you go for that, you have to analyze the inks, which type of printer they have used, typewriter, paper, handwriting, whether it is a pencil or pen. If they are using a pen, what kind of ink it would be, what kind of pen it would be, their handwriting, chair documents, everything is analyzed. Mainly question document examination is used in forensic accountings, and where there is an illegal forgery signature has happened, financial fraud has happened, then question document examination comes into a play. So if we talk about question document examination, if you are very much interested, you can do your specialization in question document, and you can also go for any private companies as a assistant. Like you can go and you can go for a consultant, they will come to you every time to check whether the document they have received. I have did my let's say I have did my expertise in question document, then I can go and contact any of the private companies like a BPO or MNC, and I can work as a consultant for them. So whatever the, because obviously private companies, what they will do, they might always, there is a chance exchange of information happens between other companies, or within the employees, within the company, there might be always documentation would be happens, right? So if you be a consultant for it, obviously you will get paid, because you are checking whether it is a fraud or not, right? So let's say you have did your question document examination as a specialist, and there is a fraud happened with one company, you went there and you try to solve the crime. So then you can go and ask them, right? Like so now you already face one situation, there might be a chance you have, the situation might comes again. So I am already into it, you can appoint me as a consultant, so I can deal with your documentation work, I can do examination to avoid this forgery and signature and fraud checks, everything. So you can be a consultant in public, sorry, private companies also. And fingerprint analysis, it's, I would say, everyone's easiest thing, but if we go deep into it, it's very tough in the at the same time, because what we study in your bachelor's and master's, we usually study what is a type of fingerprint. But fingerprint type is not only one thing, because we have to study what is a rich characteristic, how to analyze rich count, and what delta core, everything we have to able to identify. So since it is very small, minute, so to deal with them, it's sometimes a difficult task to compare, to analyze, because there sometimes a smudged fingerprint would be there, smudged there might be two fingerprints, three fingerprints, the fingerprint might be of many days, there is a time lapses there between. So fingerprint is easy to study, but when you're dealing with fingerprint, you have to be very careful, because fingerprint, if we deal with a latent fingerprint, then there is a chance you yourself contaminate the crime, this fingerprint evidence. So fingerprint usually it studies the rich characteristics of a fingerprint to identify a person, which is unique and universal and individual to everyone. And pathology. If you want to work in a forensic pathology, you cannot be a pathologist with your PSC and MSc. You have to pursue your MBBS. After pursuing your MBBS, you have to do a specialization with pathology. Then you can be a forensic pathologist. But usually, having a knowledge of pathologist helps because it helps in investigation of death. Postmortem reports, to analyze the postmortem and reports and how the death causes by doing the autopsy, through autopsy, whether it is a natural, accidental, or homicidal, will study by with knowing with having a knowledge of pathology. And forensic serology. If we talk about forensic serology deals with the identification of blood, semen, saliva, and other body fluids. So this is a question I had personally when I'm studying my bachelor's and master's. Already we have forensic biology, right? There also we have a study about the body, blood, everything, hair, everything. But why separately we are studying forensic serology? Because forensic serology specially deal with only body fluids. So it having a specialized technique. If you are a forensic biologist, you have a multiple. You deal with the tissue knowledge, everything. But if we have a specialized in serology, you will be very quick enough. It is a specialized field. That was the reason why it has been separated from it. Then wildlife forensics. If we talk about the wildlife forensics, as I have before shared, wildlife forensics help in first and foremost, it helps to save the degraded, endangered species, and people who are committing a crime against the animals, which they can't even speak. If a crime has happened on them, they can't even happen, but they are people who are very cruel enough for the sake of their financial gains or other things. Maximum the illegal hunting, trafficking, poaching, everything happened because of this money only, the financial gain, profit. But they might not knowing this, if the species are endangered, then there is a loss of food chain, then everything in the environment will be imbalanced. So that's the reason, to save the environment, to save animals, we also have a specialized department for wildlife forensics. Then we have environmental forensics. So it deals with the environment, pollutants, contaminants. What are the people who are polluting the environment? We also have to sometimes take an action on them. So we deal with this. We study about environmental forensics. What are the law that will be applied to them? What are the techniques that we have to use? Everything will be studied under environmental forensics. And forensic engineering. So forensic engineering, I would say it's an emerging field right now because it helps in examining the structure and mechanical failures. Let's say uh, you might be dealing with the contractors, right? You might be knowing the contractors. So if a contractor is taking a contract, and if he use a low quality material, which after few years, the building which he constructed might be collapsed, which leads to many people death. So that's the reason, whenever a contractor is there, they will go for the foundation is strong or not, whether it will stay for long or not, whether it is able to have a capacity or not, the quality of the material, everything will be analyzed by the engineers, right? So here forensic engineering deals with these people. When an accident happened in a construction, when they constructed something, and after few years when it get collapsed, it leads to a death of many people, many victims would be there, who are very innocent people, I would say. So to solve those cases, you can go for forensic engineering. And what you can be, let's say if a contractor is there, you can personally contact them. If you know them, you can be a consultant for them. They can come to you whenever they are doing some construction activities. Then you can check for it, you can give your review on it, then they can go for it. So you can be a there are so many real estate businesses. You can be a consultant because you already uh, qualified for it. You already having enough qualified. If you have an experience attached to it, then you can go for it. So forensic engineering is also a good option for you, and forensic nursing. So it is mainly, I would say, it is very helpful in case of sexual assault cases. When a sexual assault cases comes, the first forensic nurses plays a vital role in dealing with the victim and the suspect, in analyzing the body, everything. And it provides a care while collecting the legal, medical legal evidences. So forensic nursing is also a good, I would say, it is also a good paying job. And forensic linguistics. If you people are doing BSc in nursing, then you can study your MSc nursing, or you can go forensic nursing, I would say, or you can go for 1 year diploma in forensic nursing, and you can work in hospitals. Also, you can work in the legal departments as well. Then linguistics, it studies a language in legal and criminal context. So here, criminalistics is there. I just want to ask, criminology is a branch of forensic science or not? Criminology is a branch of forensic science or not? And what is the difference between criminology and criminalistics? Just question yourself. You might have known. We usually see criminology is a branch of forensic science, but guys, it's not. Criminology is a separate subject and forensic science is a separate subject, but they both deal with the same things. They work together, but they both are not interrelated. They are not, criminology is not a branch of forensic science. Criminology deals with the crime and criminal behavior. It's a study of crime and criminal behavior. But criminalistics is the branch of forensic science. Criminalistics is the scientific study of physical evidence. So it deals with the scientific methods to solve. It will apply the scientific methods to solve the crime. To it will help to develop the crime prevention and control strategies. That's a criminalistics about. So never say criminology is a branch of forensic science. Criminology is not a branch of forensic science, but they both work together. If we go into it, criminalistics is a branch of forensic science. And forensic geology, so it analyze the soils, minerals, rocks as an evidence, and they'll try to match up the suspects. It mainly happen when you're analyzing the mud of a tire, when you have found any tire evidence, vehicle as an evidence at the crime scene. Then biotechnology. Biotechnology uses molecular biology techniques in crime investigation. It is having a number of techniques, I would say. So it will help to solve and analyze the DNA uh, to use. Let's say if you have only one drop, one or two drop, only one swab of blood you will find at the crime scene. With one swab of blood, will you able to do multiple tests? Of course, no, right? So there, biotechnology plays a vital role in solving the crime scenes, because usually what will happen when we are dealing with a crime scene, it we have to make multiple samples. With one sample, first they will replicate it into they will replicate it to multiple samples, then they will do analysis. Then if I'm a biologist, I might be not knowing to these techniques because I'm not specialized in biotechnology. So there, biotechnology plays a good role because they are well known with PCR, genetic markers, and recombinant DNA, everything, because that is the specialized branch. So, usually, what will happen? We know PCR, right? Polymerase chain reaction. But do you know there are many types of PCR. There is a real time qPCR is there. There are many types of PCR is also there. We don't study all the PCRs, but biotechnology people study all the PCR, which is better option when you're dealing with an evidence. So biotechnology also important when crime is happening. And DNA analysis. DNA analysis. If you have a DNA, I would say it's a golden evidence in a crime scene. It's a golden evidence. In because if we are able to match the DNA of an individual with other person, it's highly accurate. There is no chance to escape a person. If you get a DNA of a suspect and able to match in the which is present in the crime scene, then almost the case is closed. So DNA having that much high importance, not only in forensic science, in the legal cases also, DNA plays a vital role. It is having, if we give a ranking of all the evidences, DNA will stand at the first place. So whenever you're dealing with a DNA, even I would say when you are working in a forensic laboratories, usually they will not mention forensic biology unit or forensic biology area, serology lab, or they will not mention particularly serology lab. They will usually mention DNA unit, usually, because there, of course, at the DNA place only, all the evidences, biology evidences will be dealt, biological evidences, but still, DNA having that much high priority overall. If we have a DNA, we can even solve the cases who are of 10 years of old. Old cases, cold cases also can be solved with the help of DNA. So these are some of the branches, guys. I have almost shared 23 branches. If you keep on going, there are n number of branches in forensic science. When you have this many branches in forensic science, do you think there is no scope in forensic science? Question yourself. You have this many branches. You can go for one specialization and you can grow in it without trying. Never say there is no scope in forensic science. You have to be very bold. When someone says there is no scope, then show them all the branches. I can take any of the branch and I can, it's you who having a gene. If you have a gene, if you have a spirit in you, then you can be a DNA analysis, you can be a toxicologist, you can be a fingerprint expert, you can be a cyber expert, you can be a crime scene investigator, right? So there are n number of branches in forensic science, so you can take any one as your specialization and you can work on it and you can stand in same field. So never feel bad to take a forensic science. I am proud of taking a forensic science. It's my, whenever I say I have studied my bachelor's, master's, and I'm studying my PhD, I'm proud of my subject. So be proud to be your subject because it is having, it's a, the beauty is there in the forensic science. It's a beauty which where we are helping the society, we are solving the crimes. It's adventure is there. We are seeking the peace in the society. It's pure enough. So everything is there in forensic science. You can enjoy the field. An educational background. One second. Thank you so much. Educational background. If we talk about the educational background, when I'm taking my BSc, I don't have forensic BSc honors, but recently many of the universities offering for BSc honors. So if you are pursuing a BSc only in forensic science without honors, then it's good. Then you can study your BSc, which is 3 years of course, or you can go for any life sciences. You can pursue your BSc microbiology, BSc chemistry, BSc biotechnology, zoology. You can study any life sciences also in your bachelor's, and you can go for MSc in forensic science with a specialization in serology, toxicology, psychology, digital, question document. You can take a specialization and you can study masters also. Then after doing MSc and BSc, if you want to go for, then you can do a PG diploma, which is a 1 year course for a specialization. Let's say I want to, I did my masters in DNA division. I have did my MSc forensic science with specialization in DNA. Right. If I want to go more specialized with one topic, I can do PG diploma in bioinformatics. If I want to do, if I'm very much interested to have a specialization in specific subject. So you can go for PG diploma if you're interested to have a, it's a short term 1 year course for career opportunities, better career opportunities. If you want, you can go. And if you want to do PhD, don't go for PhD unless until you have a goal of it. Let's say if you are interested in academics, it's good for you. If you are interested in research, it's good for you for higher positions. But don't go for the qualification without any reason behind it. If you're not interested, if you don't want to be a professor, if you don't want to go for academics, then it's not good for you, because you are ultimately not going to work in an academics. And if you're not interested in research, if you're not willing to do any research, you do not want to invent anything, something new, then PhD is not a good option for you. With your masters, you can join any and you can start working economically. Guys, if I have to speak, because I'm also a student, right? I have gone through your phase and came. Right now fees is really high comparing to a few years back. The fees is high everywhere. You people are paying fees, you have hostel fees, you might be migrated to some other place. You know what is the situation in your family. Only you know. Your friend might be studying masters, but your parents might be not capable of, allowing you to again join, make you join in a masters. You might be having a siblings. They might be parallel studying with you. So it might be economically burden to you. You know what is happening at your home. Will I be able to, migrate myself to work in other place? You have to look after your family first, then take a decisions accordingly, because ultimately the fees has to be paid by you. Hostel fee has to be paid. So eh, if I have to talk in general, when you complete your bachelor's, you might be in your 80s, 90s or 18s, 20s, some people. And if you join your master's, then by the end of 22 or 23 something or 25 maximum, you'll complete your master's. But at the time of your 25, your parents might be old, right? No, I'm not saying old, but they're very elders, so they cannot work. If you're still studying, that might be, for some people it might be a very difficult. So you cannot go and ask for pocket money if you want to purchase any books. It's a difficult for you. So choose the option. Don't look for a qualification. Look for a good job, because ultimately forensic science giving a hope. It's a beautiful a subject, I would say. But still, if you're choosing a career pathway, educational pathway, it's you who is choosing, and only you can decide. You are the one who can decide. You know what is your family situation, what has been going through, what are the health issues or any financial issues. It's you who is choosing. And right now, even if you get an admission in government college, but still you have to pay a fees, right? So based on that, take decisions. If you want to go for uh, they are colleges, but let's say I'm in Andhra Pradesh and NFSU is there in Gujarat, Gandhinagar. My parents situation is not good. I cannot, travel this much, because the ticket charge only almost 3,000. And it takes time also, and I have to settle over here. So obviously it is a matter of money somewhere. So my parents, if they cannot afford me that much, then I can, it's not a good option for me. Might be the college is a good college, but it's not a good option for me, because it's a obviously burden to my parents, right? So it's not always a financial burden, but yes, parents cannot afford that much. So you have to look after your parents. If your friend is studying in one college, you might be having a dream of studying in one college. But if it is not possible, you have to look back and look at your parents also, and you can go for the other option. There might be in Andhra also we have another universities. I can go and study there also. I can make, because it is economically it's a good for my parents. Ultimately, I'll get the degree. If I'm having a skill, who will stop me? I can work anywhere, right? Skill matters, knowledge matters. So ultimately, what I would suggest is, when you're choosing a educational background, choose wisely. I would say choose wisely. College also. Right now, I have reviewed almost 10 to 20 colleges, forensic, a syllabus. Almost 10 to 15 colleges I have reviewed the syllabus. The syllabus is same, almost similar. The one or other things might be differ, but almost similar things are we are going to study. So look at it. If the college fees is high, if you are not able to pay, then drop from one, choose another one. So that's a personal suggestion that I will give you, because ultimately parents, you have to respect them, you have to look after them. you might be having some passion to study in something, but ultimately you have to look after your family situation also, because you are the one who knows what's going on in your family. You might be the elder one, they might be your siblings might be there. If you are not settled by the age of 25, what about your siblings? Right, so you have to take your responsibility of your family and everything. So choose educational background, try to complete your education by 25 at any cost, and have to come into your professional life. Then only you can able to make your parents proud and give a support to your, be a helping hand at your home. So coming to our topic, you can do your masters and bachelors in forensic science if you're good in academics and uh, want to go research, then you can go for PhD. That's also a good option. Then you can go for it. And alternatively, um, I'm sorry. So okay, and after that, if we talk about alternative route, there are people who are studying honors in forensic science. So what it help in? It's a 4 years course. Usually BSc forensic science is 3 years, but BSc honors is of 4 years. It was very only two things. If you are into job, if you want to gain the job quickly with a graduation, after graduation you can go any non-core job also. If you want to try, you can try for a core job also. If you are wanted to go for a job immediately, then go for BSc. If because after you will get in 3 years only, you will get your graduation. Then after that, if you want, you can continue masters for 2 years. Otherwise, you can go for BSc, which is honors, which is a 4 years course, and you can directly take admission in PhD. You don't need to go for masters. But I would say do masters, because the knowledge which you get in masters is different. So if you are skipping your masters, you are skipping a step and you are jumping into another thing. So if possible, try to read your masters and then go for PhD, which is an optional if you are into research and teaching positions. And coming to the this a specialization part, if you take your masters, let's say I took MSc, I did my masters MS in forensic science. So 3 years you will study masters forensic science, normal general subjects. In fourth semester you will have a specialization subject, which is, let's say I studied biology. In the similar way, other people, you can choose toxicology as a specialization. So in one semester, among the four, you will study one specialization in last semester, which will be considered and written as a specialization. This is how you will be specialized with the forensic science in a specialized specific branch. I hope educational background is clear for you. And coming to the competitive and recruitment exams. So for your PG masters, you can go for Common University Entrance Test PG and Delhi University Entrance Test, or NFAT, National Forensic Admission Test, then All India Forensic Entrance Test would be there. You can choose these options for your masters, I would say. And UGC net you can write for your PhD admissions or JRF, or for getting into getting a job as an assistant professor. So these are good for your these are the I would say exams that you can, competitive exams that you can give in the field of forensic science, entrance to an entrance examination for a university or a college. And for jobs, usually you can choose UPSC. Yes, guys, you can write UPSC. You can do SSC. There will be state exams. Let's say Gujarat entrance test would be there for Gujarat people. For Andhra Pradesh, there is separate examinations would be there. You can appear for those public recruitment job examinations, and you can also go for FSL and CFSL recruitments, because there are sometimes they will give a recruitment. You have to thoroughly follow the website. If you are not able to follow the websites, then you can follow Krino Forensics. They will help you with finding out if they get any opportunity. They you be in contact with them, they'll help you with the recruitment announcements also. So have at least one connection with connection with them, at least join the group, that you will get the updates accordingly. So you will not miss out on something. So check on the recruitment notifications. Then you can also go for investigative bureau or CBI, NIA examinations would be there. Don't ask me when these exams would be. When there is a recruitment is there, they will release the notification. Based on that, we'll have an examination. We cannot have yearly once we have it won't work like that. When we have a recruitment, then we have an examination. So you can also for UPSC, UGC net, we know it happens every year. So for them, we can give a date. But for this examination recruitments, it is based on the vacancy. So these are the some of the examinations that you can give. Apart from that, if you want to go into non-core, according to that, there are examinations. Just check on the websites based on your specialization. You will get to know what are the exams that you have to give. Ultimately, if you are choosing forensic science, basics would be this, and whatever you are going to study as a in the branches, that will be as a syllabus of the examination. And coming in, so government sector and a private sector. So in the government sector, if you want to work, if I'm talking about the future pathways, then you can work in. I think recently I did one research on it. Almost I found 80 or plus 9 something ongoing also happening. State forensic science laboratories, and then we have seven I guess central forensic science laboratories and 589 mobile forensic units. I would say so there are almost 700, near to 700 we have foreign FSLs. It might be central, it might be state, it might be I'm sorry, regional is 859. 859, I'm sorry. So the number might be varies, but almost 700 forensic laboratories are present in India, are situated in India. So if you are interested, you can have a track out of it. You can go personally, and you can try for it. Without trying, don't say we cannot work. They need a, of course they need a specialization. If you do not have a specialization, how can they take? You have to have a qualification in your, which is a degree qualification, degrees like masters or whatever it might be. You should have a specialization. So you should have a better knowledge of it. Then you can try when there is a opening of a research laboratory recruitment is there, then you can go for forensic scientist, scientific officer, junior scientific officer, a senior scientific officer. You can be a director if you are good at it. You can grow in the same department. Then you can be a clerk. I will not say clerk, but you can be a lab technician in the same field. You can work on contract basis also nowadays. On contract basis also they are taking, and once the contract is then they are trying to make them permanent staff also. So you can try for it. Then crimes in investigator, police in police units. Once you complete your BS in forensic science, you can give the examination, and you can also go for police also. You can join police department also, CID, CBI. So you can work as a crimes in investigator. Then medical legal examiner. So for this you required a MBBS. I'm not saying any I'm not referring to it. If anyone who is from medical, if you are joining to this meet, then it's good for you. You can be a medical legal examiner. You can work in hospitals, medical departments. Then you can be a pathologist. Then you can be a toxicologist if you are good at toxicology, serologist, but ballistic expert. Based on the divisions of the lab, FSL will have different lab divisions. So in the specific division, you can be an expert. And then forensic cyber forensic expert in cyber cells. I think in Gujarat we have CBI, CID. Sorry, I think CID only. We have in Gujarat. So there you can go and work in cyber cells. And then judiciary and legal advisors. You can be a and guys, if you have done your bachelor's in your forensic science, then you can also study law, LLB, LLM. You can also, if you're, but it make a long pathway. But if you're interested, then you can pursue your law also after your this field. But if I have to suggest you something, you have to put most of the time to get settled in the law department, because let's say they have to do an integrated degree. Let's either it might be BA or BCom, and then they have to do LLB law. They have to pursue. After they get the law the LLB they complete. They have to give a board examination, and to get the cases to gain, you have to work as a junior advocate, then under a senior advocate, then at least minimum 5 years you have to work on it. You cannot expect amount, I would say. Then after that, we also have sorry, legal. If you are working in a legal department, law departments, you have to give a much time of yours to them. So it's your choice if you want to become a lawyer. After becoming a forensic science, after studying forensic science, you can go for criminal lawyer. You can be a good advocate also. I'll not say you can. It's not a good option for you, but you can choose that option as well. And you can be a psychologist also. After you studied forensic science, you can go for MA psychology, and you can do your if you want to be a clinical psychologist, then you can do a PG, which is for if you want to start as a clinical. Otherwise, you can be a counseling psychologist also by doing MA in psychology. Private sector. If we talk about the private sector, forensic analyst in private labs, consultant. You can be a good consultant. Freelance jobs. I told you, right? You can go and you. Let's say I'm working right now as a professor. Right, I'm working right now as a professor, but at the same time, I'm a assistant editor in a journal. I'm an editor in a journal, which is a peer review journal, I would say. So both I'm working parallelly. So do consultancy works together. So then you will get a good professional exposure. Also, you can be a good uh, having a good knowledge, I would say, about the subject, and you will have better options. You can you can grow in your professional field, and you can be a digital forensic expert. You can work in any cyber cells, cyber labs, small lab, which are the startups would be there. And then corporate investigators, because yes, there are insurance check bounce, there are situations happen, so you can work in a banks. This HDFC, Kotak banks, they also have a corporate investigators. They personally recruit them. So if you have a good contacts, you can be that. We are just showing the path, but ultimately you are the one who choosing the better option for you. So and you can be a psychologist, as I just told. You can start if you have did your psychology as a specialization, then you can start your own counseling clinic, I would say. Then you can counsel the people. If you have a license, you can go to a prison, and you can counsel the criminals to study their criminal behavior and to make them normal. Then coming to your academic and research part, you can be an assistant professor or lecturer in colleges or universities. And then if you're good at teaching, you can go for this option. And research, if you are good at research, you can go for it. And in India, we don't have postdoctoral, but in abroad we have. After completing your PhD, then you can do your postdoctoral studies, which is a higher level of study in abroad. But currently in India, PhD is the higher qualification. So this is the all about academics. So I have already shared all these things. I'm just repeating all those. Like you can go for forensic biology, serology expert, toxicologist, chemist, ballistic expert, question document examiner, psychologist, a forensic psychologist, forensic cyber expert, pathologist, wildlife forensic expert, odontologist. So guys, at the end, only one thing I would say: in forensic science, you have these many options. If you choose one and if you work on it, ultimately you will reach your goal one other time. So don't feel like there is no scope. We have this many fields, we have this many opportunities. And right now, when I am studying my bachelor's, I don't have a good colleges to choose. I don't have a good guidance. Right now, we have Google in our phone. We have good faculty. People are having a knowledge of forensic science. Every university is right now starting forensic science. So as a and department. So almost all the good universities having a forensic science as a specialization, specialized branch department in their universities. So forensic science is growing. So as forensic science is growing, it's you, because you are the aspirant of forensic science. You are the future of forensic science. So you can make the bright life of the forensic science brighter, the future of forensic science brighter. It's in your hands to choose what is the best option for you. Ultimately, we will be helping you, but no one is going to suggest you do this, because right now no one is that much free to give a spoon feeding, right? So you have to understand what is your expertise, what can be done. Always money is not the matter, right? Sometimes even if you're getting lakhs in your hand, you will not be happy, because that's not your cup of tea. There might be a stress in the job, there might be struggle in the job. Sometimes even if with your 10,000 also, you will feel happy because you're enjoying the job, you might be enjoying the atmosphere, you're gaining the expertise. So at the end, only one thing I can say: choose the better option and never feel regret in on forensic science. And if you have any doubt, any guidance, you can reach out to us. And I have not forgot, but I would like to say I am a proud member of Krino Forensics. I am being with a Krino Forensics. So at any point of time, if you have any doubts, you can reach out to us. We will mentor you, we will guide you in the field of forensic science, not only in job roles and pathways. We'll also help you in the what I would say, if you are not able to understand the subject, if you want a special guidance in taking competitive exams, you can reach out to us personally. We'll help you to grow in the field of forensic science. We are for you. And that's all. By the end of, it's the end of my presentation. I hope it's worth. um I think I have taken a lot of your time. I let me let me go through your questions and answers very quickly. Ma'am, can we go into I'm just reading the question also, so you should understand what I'm explaining. There's a question from Arun Reddy. Ma'am, can we go into a forensic field as I interested in that? What is the process to go into the field? Um, Beta, I have already explained you what have to be studied, right? What you have to choose. What is the educational path you have to choose, and how you have to appear for competitive exams, and what is the job rules. So I hope I have already answered your question. And Nandita, can you explain cyber forensic in short form? Mita, I think I already explained cyber forensic also. Cyber forensic deals with the knowledge of cyber, like hacking would be there. They right now, um, crime with mobile digital evidence, digital knowledge is high. There might be a fraud happened, bank fraud happened with the SMS, email, spam calls. There is a lot of, even stalking is there. Then people are blackmailing. Then their maximum financial gain only. They're hacking the other. Without the permission, they'll jump into the other people's system. So this is the crime, right, which is an illegal activity, because without their permission we are taking the personal things and we are using it without their the approval. So cyber forensic science plays a vital role over there to solve the crimes which are related to cyber, which are related to digital evidence, which are related to digital knowledge. So that's all about cyber forensics. And if you want to grow in cyber forensics, then you can do your masters in forensic science. Parallelly, you can go for a specialization in cyber security, as I have already shared. Then you can work, if you take a forensic science and cyber, you can choose any corporate companies also. You can work over there also, because you will be having knowledge of languages. But languages will not be taught in the college. If you are interested, when you're studying your masters, you can parallelly read and learn about the languages. That will help you a lot. Darshan Singh, question from Darshan. If I have MSc in biochemistry, can I write net exam. Am I eligible? Mm. Yes, you can give net exam. So right now, even if you completed your BSc honors, you will have a 4 years graduation, right? So you are eligible. Even if you completed your masters, then you are eligible to give your NET exam for the entrance of PhD, or if you want to become any assistant professor, or you want to go in academics, then you are eligible. You can give. Or I think the NET exam for the month of for the first it happens twice. It's happened in this year in the month of June, I guess. So you can try to appear in the month of December of this year. So you can prepare for it. If you want material, you can reach out to the people, Krino Forensic, the admins of Krino Forensics. I'll share you the notes. They will help you with the notes. Then, so doubt, sir, I want to work abroad in forensic field. Yes, if you are good, guys, I am studying forensic PhD from a university which is in USA. So if you are interested in working in abroad in forensic science, so you can choose. But I would say first when you're pursuing your bachelor's, try to shift when you're doing your master's itself. Shift to any the good, I would say, because right now wars are happening. There is a even people are not allowing. There is so many glitch is happening between the other countries. Also choose a good country and shift when you're doing your masters, because 2 years because of education you have to stay there, and you will be having a good exposure, and you will be knowing, because laws which we are studying right now are not the same in the abroad. If you are studying law in the abroad, again you have to come here and you have to pursue the law, because laws are different. The laws here is different, and the laws which are in Arabian countries, USA, UK, everything is different. So you have to be a citizen over there, then you have to get acquainted, then you have to go for the examinations. If there is an Interpol also, if you are interested, you can go for it. But what I would suggest is move when you are doing your masters itself to the abroad country, then you will be knowing a better knowledge about it. And coming to the admission, if you want to get an admission, there are n number of consultancies, international consultancies, which will help you in getting the visa, a scholarship, and education loan also. If you want, they offer, and they will be taking care of everything. So I would try, don't go by your own, take any consultancy, because they will help you from starting to the end point till you will come. Choose one better option, better consultancy, and go for your masters and have an experience. If you feel like working over there still, then you can work. You can continue over there by giving a proper examination. They're also having a qualifications required. So according to that, you can go for it. Then it's from Nikita. How to build career in cyber security. So if you want to build a career in cyber security, first you should have a basic uh, career, what I should say, educational background. So you can do your BSc, or if you are right now studying BTech, then you can continue with your bachelor's, then do your master's with a specialization in cyber. Then if you want, you can do an internship. I would say when you are pursuing your bachelor's and master's, try to do as many internships you can. I did almost 4 internships or 5 internships, because when you do internship you will get exposure to it. So try to do as many internships as you can, so you will get a practical gain. So that was the reason. In short, you will study 3 years, right? Bachelor's is of 3 years, or master's is of 2 years, but they will ask only 1 month internship. Why? Because the whatever you're studying in the 3 years, you will be recalling. You can be seeing everything in 1 month. So that is a difference between the theoretical knowledge and the practical knowledge. So have a practical exposure, how to crack a crime scene, cyber crime, how to decode the crime scene, how to, if a person is hacking, how to reverse hack them, how to save this system from people who are hacking into it. So giving a protocol security, so have a better understanding on it, and you can go for anything. I have already shared the pathway also. You can work in a government field also, in like police departments. We do have a specialized cyber cells. You can work over there also, or you can work in any private lab cyber cells also. Then can I write it's from Dushan. Can I write net exam in forensic if I'm a forensic biochemist? Yes, you can write. You can write exam. That's not a problem. Then how can I go into forensic psychology field? I'm pursuing my MSc forensic science. If you're currently pursuing MSc forensic science and if you want to grow in the field of forensic psychology, so what I will say is forensic psychology is a, let's say, knowledge of forensic psychology is an ocean. If you study in forensic psychology with right now, as you're already started with your forensic science, you will study only a glass of it. That is the only syllabus that you will have. So what I will suggest is, in your 3 years you will have a general forensic science, right? In the master's, take psychology is your specialization, and parallelly try to do as many courses you can and try to read the books. You might be having library, so try to read the books and gain the knowledge, because on the degree you already have a specialization, and for the knowledge you have to, because psychology is not something you will get practically. It is, if you have a theoretical knowledge, then only you can experience it as practically. Ultimately you are the healer, actually, I would say, because forensic psychologist, for me they are one type of healers. You are healing someone. You are healing someone because they are already corrupted, they're already damaged, their heart, mind, everything is damaged, they're contaminated with criminal thoughts. So you are just making, out of it, and that you are healing it. So ultimately, if you want to heal someone, you are the doctor. I would not exactly doctor, but you are the person who is taking care of them. So try to read many things, but for specialization at the fourth semester you can take a forensic psychology as a specialization subject. What exams we need to prepare for to be a crime scene investigator and prepare for it? So I have already shared what are the exams that you have to prepare. You can prepare for them and you can go for the recruitment examinations. And as I told, language is the main thing. So look after the language. Try to work in your native place only, because native language is the one thing that you can able to write and speak. If you are good at other languages, then choose other um, states also. Then you can approach to them if you have a good contact, so you can, consult any crimes in investigation department, because right now private labs also increasing, forensic laboratories also increasing, private laboratories. So you can work over there also. You can work in for experience work. If you're not able to get into directly into a government job, don't wait on it, I would say. Take opportunity whatever you're getting. If you wait on government job for years, then it's a loss for you. So take an opportunity, jump into one job, get experience. So instead of waiting and waiting on it, you can do one thing. You can jump into any job. You can have an experience. Then when you get an opportunity, since you already experienced, you will be considered first. So I would say, if you get a job, either it might be private or public, try to gain experience and work on your dream job. For me, dream job would be to work in a crime investigator. For you, it might be an academics. For other person, it might be to become a police. So work on your dream job. But once you complete your education, try to jump into your job, because you have to obviously look after your family members, and you cannot depend on your family. I'm not saying you family might be loving to you, they might be able to take care of you, but yes, ultimately you have to be a helping hand to your family. So keep in that mind. uh what are the scopes in forensic anthropology? It's from GKPK. So forensic scope and the key areas that you can work in, you can work in any recent what you can work in any crime departments, forensic departments. You might have seen in movies also. They are having uh, so many what is it, organizations are coming up. They are working on the anthropology, the Asian cultures. Then scope, so you know these are what is the need and everything, and ultimately you can work in the similar manner. You can work in forensic laboratories and DNA, medical departments, labs. This is only the main thing I would say, but with a specialization that would be the you will be taking a subject of forensic anthropology. And then next question, I'm interested in portraiting drawing in forensic science. Any chance to get into artistic field or any exams for that? Can you explain? So if you're good at drawing, I would say yes, there is a chance, because you might have seen people in many, you might seen in movies also, in general also, there is a need of artist people also. They will call you because a person, let's say I have been uh, a person has committed a crime against me. They have robbed my bag. Let's say they robbed my bag. So I just know their face. I never seen them before. I might have not met them before. But they just came and robbed my bag. But I see the facial expression, facial structure. So by giving that features, you can draw it, and you can be good art if you are good at mm, artist. So by giving features, you can draw it, then it's good for you. If you normally draw everything by looking at it, then it's not a good option for you. So know what you are good at, and if you are good at that, I would say do a freelancing for it, because no one will personally appoint you, because this job will not get, this is not a job actually. You will not get a daily work for this. You will be get when a requirement is there. So if you're good at art, then you can choose other art departments, but there is no specialization examination. But you can do any course in art. Then you can if you can work in a forensic laboratory. Along with that, you can use your talent in this area. It's His private lab results are as admissible in court. Yes, it's from Shivani Sharma. His private lab results are admissible in court of law. Yes, they are admissible in the court of law, but it depends on the factors. The relevance, what are the techniques they use? Did they follow the chain of custody or not? How they have, they got the case details, whether they have the license or not. Everything depends on, other factors are there, but ultimately they will accept, it is acceptable in the court of law. I hope all the questions are cleared. Once again, thank you so much, guys. Um, Thank you so much. I'm ending my lecture here. If you have any further questions or anything, you can reach out to the admins of Krino Forensics, and I'll be helping you out for further accordingly. Thank you so much. Have a blessed day. All the best for your future. Have a hope in forensic science. Grow high in forensic science. Thank you so much.
We sincerely thank you, ma'am, for taking the time to share your expertise with us. As a token of our appreciation, we will be presenting you with a letter of acknowledgement for your valuable contribution.
Ma'am, if you would like to say a few words.
Um, uh, Thank you so much, guys, for giving the honor to present the knowledge, to share the knowledge with you all. And obviously, you people are the one who have created the platform. So for this also, there is a no. It is not we have conducted a webinar, but there is a ground work is required. So I appreciate all the people and especially thank you each one of you, all the admins and the team members, all Nitish, Abhishek, and um, Swarangi and Dipanshu, everyone. Thank you so much. Abhigyan, Shivam, everyone. I thank everyone and all the audience. Thank you for the honor and the respect.
Thank you, ma'am. On behalf of the entire Krino Forensics team, we extend our heartfelt thanks to our speaker and all the participants. We hope today's session has given you a clear vision of the vast opportunities in forensic science. Don't forget to fill the feedback form and claim your e-certificate as an active participant. Please stay connected with us on social media for updates on future events. Thank you once again, and we look forward to seeing you in our future webinars. Have a great evening.